In today's video, it's the TAO Coalition versus the Battle Brothers, as we present our second on-screen game of Grimdark Future from One Page Rules. Well, hi folks, and welcome to the channel. I'm Lee, your old hammered host. Lynn is with me here today.
Hello.
So today we're going to play our second game of Grimdark Future, and so in this game, the Battle Brothers received a commendation for their actions in the last game, and they have been reinforced with a heavy exosuit. So in the last game, both of our armies were about 850 points each. I think this one is 1,035, which is kind of an odd number, but that's the way it kind of balanced out between the two forces. So the Battle Brothers have moved into a new sector of the city, pretty similar to the last sector, but we did move some terrain around. And now they're going to try to claim the objectives in this sector. But just as they start advancing into the sector, they run into an expeditionary force from the TAO Coalition. I'm not quite sure how that's pronounced. Maybe it's the TAO Coalition. We're just going to call them the TAO because I think I can remember that easier. So the TAO Coalition wants to seize the objectives as well. They are a very shooty army, but they're not as tough. And so we went from having a tough hand-to-hand combat army in the last game to a somewhat fragile, somewhat squishy shooty army in this game. But to back those guys up, the TAO have deployed a unit of battle suits, including a elite battle suit right here, who is the leader of this whole force. But I don't personally feel like they're as tough as the heavy exosuit on the Battle Brothers side, and I still feel like the destroyer battle hammers could knock the heads off these guys. So as in the last game, our two forces will be fighting over these objectives. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. If they can get a unit within 3 inches of one of those, they seize it. And then if an enemy can get within 3 inches of it, it becomes neutral. And whoever controls the most objectives at the end of round 4 wins the game. But I don't think we're going to get that far. Because as you may have noticed, this is a kitchen table size game. So it is roughly 36 by 42 as opposed to a 6 foot by 4 foot table or something like that you might see in a larger game. So this is very compressed. So it's going to be the equivalent of a knife fight in an alley, and I think these two forces are going to shoot each other to pieces pretty quickly, which should be entertaining. Part of the reason this is going to go so quickly is the Grimdark Future rules on cover and line of sight. So basically, as long as you can see an enemy, say you see one guy out of a squad, you can shoot at him, and those wounds will apply to the whole unit. So if we have a larger unit of 10, like these grunts here, they're going to have a hard time finding any cover they can huddle behind and be out of sight. So the bullets are really going to be flying in the first couple rounds, and I suspect it'll just be a case of stragglers, of ragged survivors stumbling forward to seize objectives after everyone else has been shot to pieces. But we shall see. All right, let's take a quick look at today's forces, and then we'll set up the board quickly and get right to gameplay. So the TAO Coalition has a 10-man squad of grunts. This is a combined squad with pulse rifles. Over here is a 5-man grunt squad with pulse shotguns, so they get 2 attacks within 12-inch range. And back here we have the Jackal Riflemen. They're not that strong, but they do have the scout ability, so they will be deploying last during the deployment phase, and they'll be able to adjust a little bit after that to try to get to a better position. To support the ground troops, the TAO Coalition has authorized a squad of gun drones. These are the gun drones here. But the big guns on which our success or failure are probably going to depend are these battle suits here. So there's 3 regular battle suits. They mostly have the normal flamers, so they have a 12-inch range with a lot of attacks. But this guy has a couple of indirect fire weapons. And then there's the battle suit elite. He's the leader of the force here. He has 2 suit flamers, a burst weapon, which is right here, and a plasma weapon, which has a 24-inch range. So he has a little more long-range capability than the standard battle suits. And all the battle suits have ambush, so they don't have to deploy in round 1. They can wait to the beginning of a future round. They also have flying, which means they can ignore terrain, basically. And they will be facing off against the upgraded force of Battle Brothers. So here's the Battle Brother force. It is basically the same as in the last game, with one major upgrade in the form of the exosuit. So here is a unit of Pathfinders. They have 3 shotguns and 2 rifles. Here is a unit of Battle Brothers with the missile launcher, as well as the Master Brother. In the last game, he was embedded with the machine gun unit, but this game, he is with the missile launcher unit. So here are the hated destroyers who basically took the heart out of my Havoc Brother army in the last game. They squashed the machine gun unit and a bunch of berserkers, but they are back, and so they can do ambush among other things, so they can drop in a future round, and they have energy hammers and shields, which means they get the blast ability to get multiple hits. Here is the heavy exosuit, and he is heavy. He is a metal model, so he could be used for home defense. You could just chuck him at an interloper if you needed to. And he has the standard twin fusion rifle, which doesn't have a lot of range, but it is AP4 and deadly 3. So if he hits any of the battle suits from the TAO Coalition with that weapon, he will basically destroy the battle suit. So I need to be very careful about being outside of his 12-inch bubble. Lynn is somewhat concerned that this guy is going to get killed right away, but he has defense of 2+ and toughness of 6. And then finally over here is another unit of Battle Brothers with a machine gun. So he's going to add some extra firepower to these guys. So the Battle Brother foot troops are of significantly higher quality than the grunts from the TAO Coalition. There are fewer of them, but that makes it easier for them to hide. So they will have an easier time of hiding in cover if they need to. So that's a quick rundown of the two teams today. We're going to quickly roll for initiative, set up our troops, and then get right to gameplay. Let's move this show along. So I got a 2, you got a 1. So I'm going to pick a side. We'll start deploying, and we'll be back in just a second with our battle report for today, the TAO Coalition versus the Battle Brothers. All right, we have deployed. So I have a squad of TAO Coalition riflemen right over here. The Jackals have forward deployed up by this fountain, and we've tried to be very careful to make sure no one has line of sight on them right this second. The grunt shotgunners are over here. The gun drones are over here, and the battle suits are waiting to deploy on a future turn. Over here on the Battle Brothers side, here is the group of Battle Brothers with the machine gun. And here's the heavy exosuit. We're going to give him a little bit of latitude when it comes to squeezing through openings in the rubble. Here is the Master Brother. He has joined this unit of Battle Brothers, and they have a missile launcher. And here is the unit of Pathfinders with battle rifles and shotguns. They hope if they survive the battle, they will be upgraded to normal Battle Brothers with better armor and such. And for the purposes of the game, we're going to say the dice tray is some column which goes up into the sky. There's no line of sight through it. But most everything else, there's some line of sight outside of a few little spots where people are cowering behind cover. So I would imagine there's going to be a lot of gunfire here in the first turn or two. So with that, the TAO Coalition has initiative, so they're going to move 1 unit, and then the Battle Brothers are going to get to move somebody. Okay, since they're probably not long for this world anyway, the Jackals are going to move kind of over this way and take perhaps their one and only shot this game. So the Jackals here with their primitive rifles are going to shoot through cover at this unit of Battle Brothers here. They're going to need a 6+ because of the cover, but I do believe all of them can see at least 1 Battle Brother. 10 rifles, 6+. Let's see what happens. And nothing. No hits. Poor Jackals. Okay, so that was my first activation. Now the Battle Brothers get to activate somebody. So who's doing what?
So the heavy exosuit is going to Overwatch.
All right. So he is standing by waiting for someone to run in his field of view. Though his range is pretty short, though anything in his range is going to get melted into slag. Okay, the gun drones can fly, so they can ignore obstacles when they move. So the gun drones kind of zip over here, trying to make use of the limited cover available in this battlefield. Okay, Battle Brothers, you're up. All right, what's going on?
So the Pathfinders are going to rush their full movement and rendezvous with the Battle Brothers over here.
They're abandoning this wing of the battlefield. So the Pathfinders want to join up with their Battle Brother brethren. So the Pathfinders move up, and if they can get within 12 inches of a target, they do have 3 shotguns, which get 2 attacks apiece, so they can lay down a wall of buckshot. Okay, so that's the Pathfinders right there. Now it is the TAO Coalition, once again. I think these grunts here with the pulse shotguns are going to hustle over this way, so they're going to rush. Got to use that cover where you can find it. So they've kind of rushed around this way behind this burning APC. Okay, Battle Brothers, you're up. So here's a unit of Battle Brothers with the missile launcher and the Master Brother, and what are they going to do?
They're going to Overwatch as well.
They are overwatching, so they're waiting for something to happen. A lot of cautious moves so far, because no one wants to be the first to get riddled with high-caliber explosive bullets. So here's the combined unit of grunts with the pulse rifles, and they're going to rush this way. Move, move, move.
Okay.
Checking for unit coherency, and they seem to be fine. All right, and finally you have this unit of Battle Brothers here with the machine gun.
And since the jackals were in range of them, they are also in range of the jackals.
So the Battle Brothers here are shooting through cover at the jackals over there. So the jackals are not long for this world. They took a chance, and it didn't pay off. So you're shooting with 4 heavy rifles and 3 machine gun shots, and that's AP1 and quality 3+, correct?
So I need 4 pluses.
Okay, looks like 3 hits altogether. And since those shots are AP1, the jackals are going to need 6 pluses on their defense. And they didn't get it, so 3 jackals are destroyed. That's all right, we didn't want to feed them anyway. Okay, so everyone on the table who wanted to move has moved. We have a couple of units who are on Overwatch right now, but everybody's moved, and so that is the end of round 1, and we go into round 2. So just to keep it interesting, we're going to secretly decide whether we're going to deploy our ambush units this round, and so a red die will mean yes, and a yellow die will mean no. We're both deploying. Okay, I won the roll-off, so I deploy first. So this is an important decision because I could drop the battle suits very close to the Battle Brothers infantry. Yeah, it'd be very tempting to kind of drop near this area here and then move up and flame all these guys. But then the exosuit here would start punching nuclear-powered holes in all my battle suits, so we don't want that. So I'm going to resist all my hostile inclinations and simply move back here where it's relatively safe and try to pick an opportune moment to strike. All right, that's not very exciting, so the battle suits have dropped in back here in the corner. All right, and now the destroyers, they're dropping in.
So the destroyers have decided to hop in behind enemy lines.
All right, they've landed here behind this group of grunts because they like to smash.
Because they like to smash. And the other side was a little more dangerous.
They were looking for a soft and squishy target. So now we're in the beginning of round 2. The ambush troops have deployed. I still have initiative, and so I'm going to activate a unit. What will I do?
I have a feeling I know what it's going to be.
Do you?
I do.
What is it going to be? Let me know, because I don't know yet. All right, because I am a benevolent leader and because these riflemen are between a rock and a hard place right now, I'm going to move them rather than fire at your destroyers. So they're going to leap atop of this ruin here and try to shoot your pathfinders. So they were thinking rather than getting hammered into paste, they would climb atop this tower and heroically shoot through cover. I'm pretty sure all of these guys can see at least one scout through the window over there. The pathfinders are going to get cover, but there's only one flavor of cover. It's just going to make it slightly more difficult to shoot them. So the grunt squad has a quality of 5+. They have good shot, which brings that down to 4+, but cover brings it back up to 5+. So they're shooting with their pulse rifles, which have a range of 30, so they have plenty of range, AP1. So they get 10 shots. They need a 5+. Hopefully they will do better than the jackals did. All right, I see 2 hits. It's not great. Scouts have a 4+ for defense. 2 ones, so 2 scouts die. And you can pick which ones, shotgun or rifle.
Short range goes bye-bye.
Okay, getting rid of those shotgunners. So in a chain reaction of events, the hammer troops drop behind this unit of riflemen, so they scampered on top of this ruin, and then shot through the windows and killed 2 scouts. So you're thinking here that this piece of rubble would count as a ramp, so they wouldn't have to expend movement climbing elevation. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so the destroyers are rushing in, using this as a ramp, and so they're going to do hammer time on those rifle troops.
Gotta get revenge for the pathfinders.
All right, how many attacks do you get?
So they're A2, so I get 6.
6 attacks. With blast.
And they all hit.
So because of blast, each hammer hit is multiplied by 3, so that is a total of, what, 18? All right, you rolled 6 hits. They're multiplied by 3, so that's 18 hits. The riflemen are defending with a 4+. No AP. That's good. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds off the riflemen. So 8 riflemen are destroyed. That's a heavy price to pay for shooting a couple of scouts. And I guess in the last act of defiance, these two riflemen are going to fight back. And because you have shield wall, they hit with a 6+. Got one. So what is your quality on defense? 3+, right?
3+.
So maybe they can do 1 wound.
No,
and they don't. And these guys need to make a morale check. And they do not make it, so they rout. And who wouldn't under those circumstances? So they take off. And that was your destroyers, who are aptly named because they just destroyed that unit of grunts. Okay, what are we going to do here? Okay, I think the jackals are going to rush over here, which should put them within 3 inches of that objective. So they're going to try to seize that objective if they can hold it till the end of the round. Okay, so who's next for the Battle Brothers? So you're going to activate the Pathfinders. They're going to go this way.
Yep.
So the Pathfinders have moved up, and we kind of made a judgment call that even though there's slots in here, that's not something you could shoot through. So before the round is over, you'll have a chance to activate this unit of Battle Brothers, this exosuit, and this other unit of Battle Brothers. These guys are currently on Overwatch. All right, now time for the TAO Coalition. I think these gun drones are going to get aggressive. So the gun drones have moved up. They're going to try to shoot at these Battle Brothers over here. This last drone, I can kind of see some shoulder pad, but that's probably not enough. So we'll say it's 4 gun drones firing at these Battle Brothers over here. Time to stir the drink. So they're shooting this way through cover. So their quality is 5+, but they have good shot, which brings it down to 4+, but there's cover, which brings it back up to 5+. 4 of them can see the target. They get 2 shots apiece, so that's 8. So let's try to make something happen here. Ooh, that's good. So we did get 4 hits out of that, which is better than I expected. So your defense is 3+.
3+.
And failed 2. Wow. Killed 2 Battle Brothers. Certainly one of them is the machine gun.
I don't think so.
Well, that was better than I hoped for. That 3+ armor makes it difficult. That's the brave little drones. Okay, so the Battle Brothers get to activate, and you're going to return fire. So the Battle Brothers are moving a bit so everyone can see the drones. So 2 heavy rifles and 1 machine gun shooting this flock of drones over here.
So that's 5 shots.
5 shots.
3 hits.
3 hits. The drones have a defense of 4+. So 2 drones are destroyed. So we lose 2 drones. And now it's time for the TAO Coalition to activate somebody. So this guy's in range to drop some indirect fire on those Pathfinders, but we're going to move first. And since we can just hop over obstacles, we're just going to hop this way. Fire up their jump packs, hop over here. So I think we're going to start with the battlesuit that has the frag cannons. He's going to lob a shot indirectly onto the scouts. So he gets 4 shots. Normally it's a quality of 4+, but he moved, and in this case, with this model and this weapon, it's a -1, so it's 5+ to hit. So let's see what happens. And 2 hits with the frag. Defense of 4+. 1 dead Pathfinder. The shotgun guy. You don't like the shotgunners.
I need to roll for morale.
See if you're pinned. Quality of 4+, right?
Yep. They're pinned.
And they're pinned. They're putting their heads down because shrapnel is flying. So here is the casualties so far. So we've lost, let's see, 3 Pathfinders, 2 Battle Brothers, a whole unit of riflemen on the TAO side, and a couple of drones, and a few jackals. All right, so that was the indirect fire guy. Now I think my leader, the elite battlesuit, can see these Battle Brothers over here. But they're just a little out of range. His max range is 24 with his plasma weapon, so he will not be shooting at them this turn. So that is my activation with these guys. Anybody left on your side?
I've got 2 left.
2 left. Okay, Battle Brothers, who's activating?
So the heavy exosuit is going to move to the left and shoot your drones with its twin fusion rifle.
So the exosuit is going to move up and try to melt a couple of drones with his twin fusion rifle. So it's going to be overkill. But you can take great satisfaction at watching them turn into molten metal.
So the exosuit hits on a 3+. 1 hit.
Got 1, and it's like AP a million, right? It's AP 4. So that drone needs to roll a 6 if he wants to avoid getting melted into slag. And he doesn't, so he melts. So the exosuit melts a drone.
Then you need to roll for morale.
I do need to roll for morale. Fortunately, drones are fearless, so they get a +1 on their morale. Normally it's a 4+, now it's a 3+. The drones are fine. They don't fear your fusion rifle. And the final unit I have to activate is this unit of pulse shotgunners. They're going to leave the cover of the burning APC and rush their full move toward the center of the battlefield. So they're kind of moving over this way, but Lynn says that the Battle Brothers are going to use Overwatch to shoot at them. So this unit was on Overwatch, so they're going to spend their Overwatch. It's the end of the round anyway. So this little channel provides no cover because it's a clear shot, but only a couple of your guys could shoot. So the Master Brother and one other brother can see through the rubble, so they are shooting. So I think the Storm Rifle gets 3 shots, right?
The Storm Rifle gets 3 shots and the Heavy Rifle gets 1.
So because it's Overwatch, it's -1 to hit. The Master Brother, however, has Veteran, so he gets a +1 to hit. So he is hitting on a 3+, and the other guy is hitting on a 4+. 2 hits. Storm Rifle is AP1, so the grunts go from a 4+ to a 5+. So 5+ to defend. Oh, that reminds me of something that happened in the last game.
It does.
Though this was a bit less consequential. So you did hit them, but their flimsy grunt armor deflected the shots. So no grunts die. So we're not exactly sure about the author's intent in regards to Overwatch. How we interpreted it was that in the last round, this unit went on Overwatch, and that would hold over until their next activation. So they used Overwatch. Now it's their activation, so they're going to activate. I'm not entirely certain if that's how that's supposed to work. That's how we're doing it, but if you have some different ideas, please share those in the comments section. We'd love to hear them. The Battle Brothers have lined up so everyone can shoot the grunts. So that's 3 heavy rifles, 1 missile launcher, and 1 storm rifle.
Yes, 3+ on all of them.
I think the veteran would get a 2+, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
So the Battle Brothers scored 5 hits on the shotgun grunts. So that's fine, that's fine. That's fine. So the missile killed 1. So 1 grunt shotgunner is sniped by a homing missile.
So that is the end of round 2.
That's the end of round 2, going into round 3. Okay, going into round 3, the Jackals are still holding on to that objective, which is good. We might slightly consolidate, though. They're hugging that pile of debris. So now it's the Battle Brothers activation, and Lynn says she has 2 Pathfinders who would like to unpin, correct?
Yeah, they can't do anything, so they will probably be dead this round, but
They'll be unpinned when they die. Okay, now the TAO Coalition gets to activate, and it would be really tempting to try to shoot the exosuit here, but I think I'll be more prudent than that. I'll try to show a little restraint. A little common sense, maybe. So these drones are going to pop over here. They're going to use their 12. They're going to rush, and they're going to fly over this way. So they're going to zip over this way and kind of hang out right here and try to provide some extra support to hold on to that objective. So that is the drones. Okay, now it's the Battle Brothers' turn to activate somebody, and what are you thinking?
I'm going to activate the Master Brother here that's embedded with these Battle Brothers.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to try to take out those gunners over there again, those grunts.
Oh, those shotgunners you don't like. Okay. So apparently you have some sort of a beef with these shotgunners. Did they cheat you at cards or something?
They didn't die like they were supposed to.
Die. So the Battle Brothers here have formed a big conga line so they can shoot through the gap at those shotgunners.
So the Storm Rifle hits on a 2, and all the rest hit on a 3.
Okay. That's a lot of hits.
That's more hits this time.
Okay, so the missile has AP2. The rest of these have AP1.
Right.
So I need 5 pluses and 1 6+. So that's a save, that's a save. And these are not. So 4 of those shotgunners are killed. So finally you got your horrible revenge.
It took me enough tries. 3 tries. That's horrible.
So the Battle Brothers are starting to thin me out here. I have 2 drones. I have some jackals. I have my battle suits, but I lost all my grunts. All right, I think the battle suits are going to stay put, And this indirect fire guy is going to lob a couple of frag grenades over here on the Pathfinders again, because it's fun. So the Pathfinders just became unpinned this round, and now more explosive mortar rounds are landing on their heads. So let's see what happens. So the battlesuit with indirect fire didn't move, so there's no penalty, and so he's firing 4 shots with a quality of 4+. And I got 3. So you're defending with what, 4+?
4+.
And oh, you did. You defended. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to eliminate the Pathfinders, but it didn't happen that way. And as for the rest, they're not quite in range to do much, so they will hang tight here for a second. And it is the Battle Brothers' turn to activate somebody.
We don't really want to get in range of all those guns, but this machine gunner here has a range of 30.
Okay. So you're saying the machine gunner here would shoot all the way across the board and try to shoot at the battle suits?
Correct.
Okay.
It would normally be a 3+, but since you've got cover, it's a 4+.
All right. 2 hits. 4+ to block. Okay, I blocked 1, so 1 battle suit takes a wound. So this guy's down to 2. Okay.
Now the destroyers.
Okay, since all my grunts are killed, you get to activate again, and so now you have your destroyers. So what are they going to do? So the destroyers want to stay out of range of some of those battle suits there.
This guy's going to jump down here.
Okay. They're going to hide behind cover.
They're going to hide behind cover.
All right. And the final unit you have to activate is your exosuit. So he's going to rush his full move toward the nearest objective, which is currently held by the Jackals. So he has a hankering to try to dislodge these guys from that objective. All right, so that is the end of turn 3. Now we're going to turn 4, and whoever controls the most objectives at the end of this turn wins the game. So in a fit of madness, the Jackals whoop and holler, and they go charging over the rubble, and they're going to go ahead and engage the exosuit in hand-to-hand combat. So they're going to get right in there with their wooden clubs and their rifle butts and their bone knives and see what they can do against the exosuit. So they get 2 attacks each with a 5+, so that's 14, I guess.
That's a lot of attacks.
That's a lot of Jackals. So 14 hand-to-hand attacks, they need a 5+.
That's a lot of hits.
There's some. Your defense is 2+, however.
This is true.
So what's that, 6 hits? That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
2+ save. And you failed 1. 1 wound. Okay.
And I can stomp back.
You can stomp back. Stomp away.
2 hits.
2 stomps. AP 1, so the Jackals need to defend with a 6+. And they lost. So 2 Jackals are stomped.
That brings them down to half, right?
Stomp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're down to half, so they need to make a morale roll. So they need a 5+. And they got it. So as the attacker, they move back 1 inch. So I'll do my best here to kind of move them back. Just kind of imagine they've moved back 1 inch while maintaining coherency. Everybody's got to go crazy in the last turn, so that was the charge of the Jackals. All right, who's activating for the Battle Brothers?
This group of Battle Brothers has a clear shot on the gun drones.
Okay, so they're shooting the gun drones.
And they all hit on a 3+.
Roll away. That's pretty good. So the drones have defense of 4+. And they failed it. So the drones are perforated by bullets. So that's the end of the drones. Okay, so the battlesuits are making a move. They're going to hop in here. They're going to fly over and get within 3 inches of that objective. So the battlesuits hop over here. They're going to seize that objective. And so that's their activation. They really wanted to shoot your scouts again, which they probably should have done, but they didn't do it. Okay, who's next?
The Pathfinders are going to bravely move up here.
All right, and contest that objective.
Yes.
So the Pathfinders have moved up. They're contesting that objective. And who's next?
The Destroyers are going to move up and seize that objective.
Okay, the sneaky Destroyers are seizing an objective. And let's see, who else?
This group of Battle Brothers is going to move up 12 and help seize this objective.
Okay, they're going to move right up in there. Too bad we're not going into turn 5. There would be a big dance party in the middle of the city there.
It would be.
The fountain. And finally, the exosuit. So he's going to clamber up that column and contest the objective.
Yep.
Okay. And is that everybody?
I believe that is everybody.
All right, let's take stock of where we are. So over here, the jackals and this exosuit are contesting this objective. Over here, the battle suits and a bunch of battle brothers are contesting this objective. So over here, the sneaky destroyers have seized this objective, which squeaks out a battle brothers victory. So the battle brothers win 1 objective to 0. And it's kind of a shame we're not going into turn 5, because turn 5 would be very interesting. It would be a big kerfluffle here in the center of the board. So the exosuit would melt some of these guys, and these guys would basically throw napalm on a bunch of these guys, and it'd be a big party. So this game was quite a bit different than the first one.
Yes, it was. We got all the way to turn 4.
Yeah, and gameplay was a lot more cautious because no one wanted to get shot to pieces, though the grunts and the drones still paid a heavy price, and the battle brothers didn't make that many sacrifices. 3 battle brothers and 2 scouts. So that's a small price to pay for victory. Okay, folks, that's a wrap on our second game of Grimdark Future from One Page Rules. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back shortly with more miniature wargaming goodness, but until then, thanks as always for stopping by. We'll see you next time.